Shalom, 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 beloved angelic family and Gentiles. So now we're going to look at the veil of ignorance. Let's get it. I finished this video about a week ago, okay? I had everything laid out, ready to push the button, to go um, to publicize it right. And then something happened. For some reason, I felt this feeling, this urge, I don't know, sensation not to publish it yet because there was something else. And I kept going, I went a whole week trying to figure out what is it, what is it, what is it? And finally, I'd ordered this book and the book came in and there was more information about this topic. I had no idea when I ordered the book that it had anything to do with the topic that I was presenting about the veil of ignorance. But this book gave me a key component of what I was missing regarding the video. So now we're going to get it in totality what this veil of ignorance is. We already discussed the veil of illusion, but we never really pinpointed who this pertained to or how it pertained to anyone, this veil. But that's what we're going to do in this vid. We're going to uncover the veils and pinpoint exactly who it pertains to. Okay, let's get it, family. Let's get it. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, fair use is invoked for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute when an otherwise infringement may occur. Usage is for nonprofit educational purposes tips the balance in favor of fair use. So, family, we're going to go back to this book, Climbing the Tree of Life. And the reason I'm using this book is because it has some very interesting information regarding this topic that we're going to address about this illusion, about the ignorance, the veil of ignorance. And if you look at the picture, you'll see that there's this 11 Sipharot tree of life here, okay, on the book. And in the middle here, that has a line in between it that's not connected like all of the other Sephiroths, is the one in the middle. That is what we're going to be discussing because that really is where knowledge is stored, but it doesn't apply to the Gentiles or the Psalms 83 nations, which is the reason why they made it very clear that there were 10 Sephiroths only, and blah, 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 blah. Not 9, not 8, not 11, but 10. Because for them, that's true. For the Kabbalists, the Illuminatis, and all of these other people around here, even our own people, and it has nothing to do with color. It's about the knowledge, okay, or the lack thereof. And scripture tells us that, my people were destroyed for lack of knowledge. This is where that knowledge is stored in this particular Sephiroth. And this is the reason that it's not connected to any of the other lines, okay? There's a blind spot there. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. This is the veil of ignorance, all right? So let's get it. Now, currently on the screen is the Sephiroth that's in the book, and this is the one that is always shown without diet or death or or the abyss. Okay, this is what they call it, the abyss. And so most of the trees of life, this is how they're shown. And this is the reason in that first or second video, whichever that I did, I said that this is not us. Okay. However, I want to change that up a little bit. And I think I did it. I pointed this out in the other video, but if not, I want to bring a little clarity. This tree of life does not belong to the light bearers. It belongs to the wicked ones on this earth who cannot get this knowledge, who this knowledge was never for, and who hid the knowledge. And it's for some earth seeds, the earth seeds, and star seeds. Okay? There are star seeds that are not light bearers. See, all star seeds are not light bearers, but all light bearers are star seeds. Okay? There is a difference. There is a separation between not only the star seeds, the angelics or the people of the mighty one, but also with the Gentiles in the Psalms 83 nations. The mighty one actually he put the veil, the initial veil here, you know, um, because, as the scripture said, we would prefer to believe a lie than the truth. So, and this goes all the way back to the fall of Kava and Yatsika. But this fall was not really what people have portrayed these Christians. Oh my gosh, these churches. Oh, it's not about what they were talking about. It's because, and they blame Kava or Eve, for this fall, but really it was because Eve wanted knowledge. This was all about the knowledge. This is everything so far where we are today has been about either you want the knowledge or you don't want knowledge. You allow your arrogance to step in the way to prevent you from finding out the truth. And that's what this is all about. To gain the knowledge means that you're deep diving for the truth. Okay? But this is what this Sephiroth represents. You can get only so far. You can only get without the knowledge, without seeking the truth. This is where you get. This is your Sephiroth. This is your tree of life. This is where you end up. You may get up to um, the Father. You may get to be, a son or a child, of the Mighty One. You can do that. You may even get the Ruach, but it only stops here. And only certain people can even get up to the top 3 Sephiroths. Only a few can get there. Now, this Sephiroth represents the 12 um, constellations or the 12 tribes or however you want to, call it. It's representative of those with the pineal gland who are able to reach to this 12th spear or Sephiroth. It's completely different because this one has 12 spears or Sephiroths and the other one has 10. The star seeds, there are some earth seeds or some star seeds who can reach this based on the knowledge that they've obtained. But this is kind of as far as it goes. Because when you limit yourself, to knowledge, it means that for you, you've attained what you needed, because when you can only go as far as you were before, okay? You can't go any further. So this is where you are. Everyone makes a decision regarding the knowledge that they want, the knowledge that they don't want. And this is all based on the rays and your spheres, or your chakras, what they call chakras. Okay? The lotus opens in each chakra or sphere is representative of a leaf, of a bloom, something that blooms. Okay? So the root sphere or root chakra has four blooms with four petals. The sacral blooms with, I think it's six. Okay. And then when you get up to the crown, that's 960, and the pineal is 96. So there's a blooming that goes on there, and all of this deals with the rays and the knowledge. And so you've made a decision regarding what it is that you want, or where you want to end up, or what works for you, because we have free will. So this is that tree of life, okay? Okay, now this sphere is about expansion. See, it incorporates the first 12 spheres, or the first 12 on the tree of life, with the knowledge. You're able to get to sphere 11, where's the pineal gland, and you're able to get knowledge, and you're able to be um, a star seed, a Christ seed, or Christella. Okay, it's a Christ or Christella. The mighty one has male and female children. This whole male dominated world thing was done by the Gentiles. So when you get to the 12th one, and you're able to move past the 12th sphere, 12th dimension, or density, or however you want to call it, and go to the 13th, this is where you get you end up getting more knowledge, and you become a light bearer. The light starts to come in, and at seed 14, at sphere 14, 15, and on up. See, this is all about expansion. This is about increasing that knowledge. This is about going into diet, going into the abyss of knowledge, and getting more and more and more. See, anytime that the Gentiles, Psalm 83 nation, tell you not to do something, you better run like hell and do the opposite thing quickly. Because when they tell you to do something, it's not for your benefit, it's to benefit them in some way. During the time that the mighty one put us asleep, they decided, the Gentiles of Psalms 83 nations decided that they would help the mighty one keep us asleep. And this is what they did. This was burning the books, hiding the books, because they took on themselves as their Christ Jesus. Okay, this is what they did. And they took the sacred text as a script for them to run over the land. This is how everything got screwed up. And so they treated us as we were nothing. Keep that in mind. They treated us as we were nothing, because this has a purpose. Keep this in mind that I'm telling you this. I'm saying this a third time. they treated us as though we were nothing. Okay. Now let's look at the 10 Sephiroth emanations. Now, this actually came from the Zohar, and also that Sephiroth, after the cover of that book, Climbing the Tree of Life, that came from the Zohar as well. We're not going to go into Zohar because the Zohar is, you have to really study, and the Ruach have to really be working with you to get through that Zohar. So, but we're going to take this about the emanations from the Zohar, because actually the emanations, well, let me read it and you can hear it for yourself. To conceal the blinding light of the upper world, okay? To conceal the blinding light of the upper world, and thus create a tiny point into which our universe would be born. 10 curtains were fabricated. These 10 curtains are called 10 Sephiroth. Each successive Sephiroth, each successive Sephiroth further reduces the emanation of light, gradually dimming its brilliance to a level almost devoid of light, our physical world known as Malkut. The only remnant of light remaining in this darkened universe is a pilot light which sustains our existence. This light is the life force of a human being and the force that gives birth to stars, sustains suns, and sets everything from swirling galaxies to busy ant hills in motion. Moreover, the 10 Sephiroth act like a prism, refracting the light into many colors, giving rise to the diversity of light and matter in our world. Now, before I go through the 10 Sephiroths, I want you guys to pay close attention. And we really miss this sometimes by not dissecting the things that the Gentiles put before us. To conceal the blinding light of the upper world, okay, the blinding light of the upper world, and thus create a tiny point into which our universe would be born. Did you get that? All the time, we've been thinking that the universe was someplace else. Nene boo boo. We've been lied to. We have been lied to in such a way that when I started getting all this information about the universe, about the cosmos, about the solar system, all of this information, I realized that a lie perpetrated so big on us when they destroyed our books. Woo! Yeah. The mighty one put those, he repressed, or it, she, the divine, repress the light. But it wasn't supposed to always be repressed. Everything has been repressed to us. I know it was. I I was comatose, and I'll say that I won't lie. But I think the one thing that has helped many of us that are awakened or in seeking the more knowledge, the increase of knowledge, is because we were in the Gentile school system, just in Psalms 83 school systems. Just because we were there, it doesn't mean that we were indoctrinated into those school systems. Those of us who were there because we wanted knowledge. We were supposed to be there. And although we got this watered down garbage of crap that they gave us. We were still trying to learn. Therefore, during the awakening, I know for me, during the awakening, I wanted more. I wanted to know the truth. And that's what those of us who are awakened, that's what we seek. We seek truth. Some of us that are awakened have come to where we are in our search for truth because it's all we wanted to know. We had enough. But those of us who are still in the books and are trying to gain knowledge is because we wanted the truth. We wanted more knowledge. And now we're finding it. We're getting to the truth that was destroyed and that they distributed amongst themselves and put in all these books. We're finally getting there. We haven't realized yet that our universe is being created. And the 10 sephirots that were there, the 10 emanations that were there, have been put there for a reason. So let's go through the sephirots, the 10 sephirots. But we're going to realize that there are not 10 sephirots here. There are actually 11. This is more of the ignorance, the lack of knowledge, the illusion. Okay? The first one is Malkut, the kingdom. The second is Yesod, foundation. The third is Hod, the glory. Nadzak is 4, victory, eternity. The Tiferet is 5, splendor. Gavara is judgment. Gavarat for plural. Chesed is 7, mercy. And then Zaire and Pen, I didn't even put Zaire and Pen in there because it's small face. It includes 6 of the next 6. These 6 sephirots here is what it includes. Okay. But if you notice, it says includes the next 6 sephirots, which I started from the bottom, which actually there are 7. See, this is the illusion and the deception, the lies, the fraud, the manipulation, the veils. This is a part of the veil that they are trying to put over us and that they've had put over us to keep us into what they want us to see. And this is what our people are having such a difficult time with. These people are giving us what they want us to see. And you must remove the veil to get past seeing what they put before you and they want you to see. They tell you here, desire and pen, the small face includes the 6 of the sephirots. That small face was on, if you go back to the first video I did and I broke down the bodies, the small face, the desire and pen, this is what they're talking about, okay? And then they're talking about 6 Sephiroth. There are actually 7 Sephiroths here. There are 12 in all, but I did not include desire and pen, okay? And then the 8 is Dayat. This is knowledge. This is the one that they hid, okay? This is the one where they can't get to because the knowledge has been hidden from them. They can't get this knowledge. What they have here, the 10 Sephiroth says all that some of them can get, and it depends on their karma. There's a lot of deceptiveness and wickedness that's being concealed by these veils, a lot. And then Bana is understanding the knowledge, and then the Chakma is the wisdom from it, which is the Ruach, okay? So you can get the knowledge, but if you haven't created a relationship with the mighty one, you can't get the understanding. And then there's no Ruach without the wisdom. They don't have any of this. The knowledge was left out, and they give you the 10 emanations because the Dayat for them is not there. And then the Keter is the crown. This is where the crystalla or the Christ seed. This is where they are, and then they go beyond really the 12 Sephiroth, and they go to 13 and move forward. This is what the light bearers. This is where the light bearers get to the emanations, but none of this is here because they can't get any of this information. It's not available to them at all. And they know that, which is the reason that they always push these 10 emanations and these 10 sephiroths. They will never push anything other than the 10 because this is for them. This is the Illuminati. This is the Kabbalah. They tell you that this is their tree of life, and it is their tree of life. But we want to stay on it and push their agenda for them, which is the reason that many cannot get to the light. Carrie Ann, you can't get to the light. Don't go in the light because you're not from the light. If you're not from the light, you cannot go to the light. And the light is not in these books that was given to our people. If you're still in these books about these scripts and only trying to dissect these scripts, mm, you can't go to the light because you're not from the light, which is the reason that you can go no further. You can't. That's just the bottom line. So on this slide, this came from Climbing the Tree of Life, and they show the three veils of negativity. And these are the three veils that have been covering the earth, that has been covering the people on the earth, the different trees of life. Okay. And it's the veil of illusion, ignorance, and ideas. They didn't put ideas in here, but I got it from another book. But that's what they are. They're three veils over the earth. And these have been keeping our people locked down and unable to move forward. And this fighting about this knowledge and who knows what and blah and all this buffoonery, this has been a part of that. If you notice, Dayat is in the middle again on this veil because Dayat is that what's been hidden. And they call these veils of negativity. There is a lot more information, in the book itself, but I'm not going to go through all of that information. If you want to know, do your own research. But I will talk about the veils of negativity. By their very nature, the three veils of negativity are abstract concepts, symbols of the infinite and unknowable, whereas Keter is the unknown divine that we strive to know and ultimately achieve. The veils are beyond Keter, which is their manifestation. The veils of negativity are the absolute ultimate and remain forever beyond our grasp, defining the limits and then removing them. As such, they are very difficult to write about, but hopefully the ideas set out below will give the reader some thoughts to begin their own realizations. The abstraction of the infinite perceived through the absence of everything, of nothing or no thing. We're going to get to that nothing again because they look at us as we're nothing. No thing has been seen in many religions. This is why the ancient shrines or holy of holies were empty rooms and why religions like Islam do not allow representation of the divine. This is referred to in Deuteronomy 27:15, curses a man who makes any image and puts it in a hidden place. The hidden place is the veils beyond Keter, which are unrepresentable. So they gave some information about the negativity, from where they see it, but it has nothing to do with most of that information. A lot of this information, that comes into the veils of ignorance for is about the knowledge. All of this other stuff is their take on it and what they put out there and said about it, but it's about the lack of knowledge. Ain, and then they talk about the ain as far as the ain of negativity, the ain of meditation, and the ain soft without end, and the ain soft meditation. See, our people should be meditating, and it's something that was taken from us. And the beloved brother Big Levi was talking about the yoga and how it's more than just the meditation, and it is. However, we should have been doing some meditation, and we're at the point now where meditation is very important. And they say that the aim is nothingness. But it's not just that the aim is nothingness. And that's what we need to understand. Let's look at the Hebrew alphabet chart. So ain is spelled A-I-N. We're going to see what ain actually means in Hebrew. So A is the head of an ox. So it's Aleph, okay? So the head of an ox shows what? Strength, right? And that's how they usually use it, as strength, something, someone or something strong, like a strong leader, a strong tent. They would put, Aleph Bet, the strong tent floor plan or something like that. So let's look at the I. The I is usually interchangeable with the Y. As you see in here, it says closed hand. And then the N is sprouting seed. So what we have is a strong closed hand or strong hands on the sprouting seed. That's what nothingness means. A strong hand on the seed. Strong hand on the sprouting seed. Who is the sprouting seed? Who is the sprouting seed? Who is coming and lifting the veil and coming out of this darkness? Who? Uh-uh. Okay. Who? We know that Ain Soft is a strong hand on the sprouting seed. And we know that Ain is a strong hand on the sprouting seed. So let's look at Ain Soft, the limitless, the source of light that sees and knows and manifests the power of Elohim. Okay? And the Ein Sof Or is the infinite light that directs the worlds through divine light power. These are the light bearers, the star seeds that are light bearers. The mighty one has a strong hand on the sprouting seeds, because this knowledge, and where we have to deep dive to get this knowledge, takes strength, a lot of strength and patience and time. Okay? This was actually the book that I was waiting on, but I didn't know this information was in here. I had no clue. So let's look and see what it says. The cause of creation is anew, or the atoms. Now, from what I have heard, anew is always the Anunnaki, Anunnaki. So this was very strange for me seeing this. The cause of creation is anew, or the atoms, or the atom. And Masse, together, they are called Maya, or the Lord's illusionary power. Each individual anew is called avidya, ignorance. I mean, you got to really grasp this whole concept about this. The cause of creation is anew, or the atoms. In Maasai, they are called Maya, or the lords of illusory power. Illusory power. The lords of illusory power, the atoms, the atoms, together. Each individual anew is called Avita, ignorance. Your veils, okay? Your lords of illusory power, and your lords of and your lord of ignorance. Okay? Atoms, the throne of spirit, the creator. These atoms, which represent within and without the four ideas mentioned above, are the throne of spirit, the creator, which shining on them creates this universe. Okay, so the four ideas is the word, time, space, and the atom. Those are the four ideas. Okay, they are called in Maasai Maya, the darkness, as they keep the spiritual light out of comprehension. And each of them separately is called Avita, the ignorance, as it makes man ignorant even of his own self. Hence the aforesaid four ideas which give rise to all those confusions are mentioned in the Bible as so many beasts. Man, so long as he identifies himself with his gross material body, holds a position far inferior to that of the primal fourfold atom and necessarily fails to comprehend the same. But when he raises himself to a level thereof, he not only comprehends this atom both inside and out, but also the whole creation, both unmanifested and manifested. Revelation 4:6, and in the midst of the throne and round and about the throne were four beasts full of eyes before and behind. This is the reason that they have kept us asleep. This is the reason that they burned the books, because they had this information. They knew that what would happen during our awakening. Right now, we are in Dayat. We're in the abyss of knowledge. Those that are in the light, that are the light bearers. And they know this, and they knew what would happen with the sun once this occurred. They are called in Maasai Maya, the darkness, as they keep the spiritual light out of comprehension. There was no spiritual light. We were under the veils. We were under the veils. We were the ones that were in darkness. We were the ones that were called nothing. We are the Ein Sof, the Ein Sof Or. Once we come out of the light, come out of the darkness, come from under those veils of ignorance, of illusion, of ideas. Once that happens and we start lifting the veils, and it's so funny because these people they have bastardized this English language, perverted it and everything. They have used everything against us. There's a term in a legal term, and it's called piercing the corporate veil. And I'm reading this stuff, and after going through, law school and all the legal terminology and all this, and the ability to see, the wheel within wheels, the spokes, how they did everything, how they used everything about the knowledge that we had, and they perverted it in every way to keep us from gaining this knowledge. We are lifting the veils, but they said that it was piercing the corporate veils. That's already been pierced. We knew that there was a court. We know now that the United States of America was a corporation, that we were under enslavement, a new type of enslavement, or prisoners of wars under, and they were still being deceptive and using everything that we had, and keeping everything afloat. And our people have been helping them all along, at every step. Our people, they've used our people in these churches, and our people are still unable to remove the veils of illusion and of ignorance. Sad. I'm in total agreement with the beloved brother Big Levi, that there's no time to wake anyone up. That time has come and gone. Everyone is where they're supposed to be. If anybody wakes up now, it's because it's something that they did, but it won't be because of anything that I did, because I'm not here to wake anyone up. That time, as far as I'm concerned, is come and gone. So now I want to show you guys what happens once we get into diet and start seeking the higher knowledge. This is what happens. The atom under the influence of chit or kit. I noticed that in China they pronounce word ch with k, a k sound. Like I Ching is not I Ching, it's actually I King. So I kit or chit is just depend. We know that the English language is bastardized and perverted, and they've done everything to keep us from the truth. So, you know, however you want to pronounce it, just do it the best of your ability, because that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to pull away from all of this craziness. So the atom under the influence of Kit, the universal knowledge, forms the Kitta, or the calm state of mind, which when spiritualized is called Buddha or Buddhai, intelligence. See, we're moving past merely focusing on the solar system, the solar plexus, because right now we're in the solar system where we are, okay? Its opposite is manas, is mind, in which lives the hive, or the hiva, the self with ahamkara, ego, the idea of separate existence. Okay? Kita, the heart, the ahamkara, the ego, the children of the mighty one. This atom of Vita, the ignorance being under the influence, when the ignorance is under the influence of universal love, it didn't say loving everybody, it says the universal love, loving the cosmos, loving the mighty one, loving the universe. It didn't say anything about the earth, okay? This is universal love. Kit, the holy Ruach, becomes spiritualized, like iron feelings in a magnetic aura, and possessed of consciousness, the power of feeling, when it is called Mehat, the heart, Kitta, and being such, the idea of separate existence of self appears in it, which is called Ahamkara, ego, the children of the mighty one. The Buddhai, the intelligence, manas the mind. Being thus magnetized, it has two poles, one of which attracts it toward the real substance, sat, and the other repels it from the same. The former is called Sattva or Buddhi, the intelligence, which determines what is truth. See, this is what this is all about. See, ignorance, you're not looking for the truth. But when you go beyond that veil, you pierce, excuse me, the veils of illusion, the veil of ignorance. When you pierce that and sits the intelligence, you're coming far beyond, you're able to move far beyond what everyone else does, because this is now you're the remnant. Okay, this is the remnant. Everyone is not going to get this, and this is the mistake. Before, we thought that, we could wake up people. We could never wake up anyone. That was never up to us. It is your actions. And when the mighty one or the divine source decides that it's time for you to awaken, this is what happens. It's your actions. So the former is called sattva or buddhi, the intelligence, which determines what is truth, and the latter being a particle of repulsion. The almighty force, spiritualized as foresaid, produces the ideal world for enjoyment, anada, and is called anadatwa, or manas, the mind. There is so much more in this book, but I don't want to make this long. But now we know that Dayat, or the void, or the abyss, this is the place of knowledge. Once, and this is where we are, this is where the remnant is. We're in this knowledge. So now when we start seeking the knowledge, is the reason that we're able to get the wisdom and the understanding and become children of the mighty one. And then we transcend into being light bearers. Okay? Because if you never reach the knowledge, the dayat, the abyss where the knowledge sits, you can move up and you can get wisdom and you can get understanding and you can become a child of the mighty one, but it is where you are. It depends on who you are and where you are. But you can only be an earth seed or star seed in this area, in this realm. You will not become a light bearer, because the work of light bearer is so much, there's so much more involved in it, and I can't even go into that right now. But I wanted to read something that I saw that was in Franz Bardon said in the initiation into hermetics. I thought it was very interesting that he put this in the book, because it's very true, and I overlooked it initially when I saw it. But it was of interest to me because this is how he described the universe. Okay? The entire universe can be compared to a with clockwork with wheels that engage with each other and which are interdependent with each other. Even the concept of the deity as the highest comprehensible being can be categorized in aspects analogous to the elements. This is very profound, because that's exactly what the universe is. And we're sitting in the middle of it. What the Gentiles and the Psalms 83 nations presented to us, giving this globe, is nothing about the cosmos, and it has nothing to do with the universe and how it sits. We are sitting in the middle of the universe. And the birth of the light bearers, the remnant, is what has been waiting for. All of the other planes, they're not planets, they're planes, have been waiting for. They've been waiting for the birth. And this is why there have been so many dreams and visions about birth. I even had a dream about birth, but it was birthing, and I had no idea what it meant at the time, but I could see it, and I didn't have the clarity regarding why I needed to take some action before this system could be birthed or could be born. But it's all of us. It's what we're doing, what the remnant right now is doing to create, to birth this new heaven and this new earth. That's what it meant. And it's all praises to the mighty one and to the Ruach for this overstanding or what is coming. And I don't even know how to explain to you guys, about the way that the plane is set up, the realms are set up, everything is laid out, but it's nothing. We are not on a spear, on a ball. They put that in the school to destroy any opportunity for us to wake up and to get the knowledge, to get the truth. But it has nothing to do with what it was to indoctrinate us into a system of belief, and it did not work for the remnant. So I say all praises to the mighty one, a great love and respect to the divine mother, and peace be unto the Mashiach, because he did what he was supposed to do. And shalom, shalom, shalom to the angelics and the Gentiles. All praises to the source and the divine Ruach. Because they said that we were nothing. They washed us from everything. They whitewashed us. They took everything from us, but they couldn't take what the mighty one had given us. They couldn't take what the Mashiach left us. They couldn't take the Ruach, the spirit, from us, because we were not about that life. It's the only way that we could come into this knowledge is to free ourselves from everything except the mighty one and walking in spirit and in truth. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that separates us, that defines who we are as a nation of people, to be able to birth the new heaven and new earth that is to come. Only the remnant could do that. Only the light bearers. It was what was given to us. You can only return to the light if you came from the light. All praises to the light, to the Ruach, to the mighty one,